that search for 2-year-old Jermaine Johnson. We just learned that his body was found actually in this river right over here. Students are still lining up to pay their respects to the victims that we lost last night. Now, as far as the story we're talking about right now, Gibson says the cafeteria where he works, the back door of that place is always open, and that is likely how the shooter got into the building and did what he did. When a car drove into this pond right behind me, you can take a look here and see some of the damage. While the city of Lansing is helping to expand its current shelters, those in the community say there are ways for us to help right now. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy myself and send it back to you. Here for you in Detroit, Darrylin, Horne'S 6 News.
I've witnessed personally 2 shootings myself right where we're standing.
Donald Cox says he's lived in this neighborhood for more than 30 years, but within the past 5, he says he could tell you dozens of stories about the disruptions from this lot that's shared by at least 4 businesses, including a motorcycle club.
The yelling, the screaming, the honking, the horns, the motorcycles and everything, it shakes your house.
He says nuisance tenants are the cause and that some people have shot off guns, littered, trespassed, and well, let's hear it from him.
I caught, not just 1 time, not twice, but 3 times, people going in my bushes and defecating. Because the next morning I'd go in there and look in the bushes to see what they were doing. What did I see? Take a guess.
Lansing police say around 1 a.m. on Sunday, they were called about shots fired in this area. They found a 45-year-old man and a 31-year-old man shot. This person, who wants to keep her identity a secret, says her house, car, and gate caught more than 10 bullets.
This has been a problem over here since I've been here, which is almost 2 years. It's noise, it's drunks, it's drugs.
Connor Logan just moved to the neighborhood a year ago today and says he's never felt safe.
You'll get cars going 70, 80 miles an hour down our road with people just bodyboarding on top of them.
And his fiance feels the same.
It's also not uncommon for people to try to enter our house.
The person who owns these rental spaces is JJV Properties. He told 6 News off camera that noise complaints have been an ongoing issue, and he's had a half-dozen conversations with the tenant who rents this building that operates as a motorcycle club. LPD calls Sunday's shooting an isolated incident, but Cox says change needs to happen.
We're furious, not upset, because we can't believe this is happening to our neighborhood.
2 MSU students with ties to the region agree that things are getting out of control, but have different perspectives on why these attacks are happening.
Watching all of the videos of the bloodshed where I once stood. It's hard to fathom.
MSU senior Liam Pellick woke up on Saturday to the news that the country of Israel had been attacked and bombed by terrorists.
Kicking down doors, shooting whoever they see, children, mothers, elderly. It's unexcusable.
He says seeing people die on the land where some of his family resides, including his grandmother, has broken him.
I instantly called all my family members, making sure they're okay. Everybody's just, shaken.
Israeli officials say the Hamas attacks have killed at least 700 people.
Hamas and the Palestinian people, I believe, are separate entities.
Very important to know how Israel has been controlling all the essentials like water, food, and goods for the Palestinian people.
Omar Mahmoud is half Palestinian and also agrees that Hamas is separate from the Palestinian government. While he condemns the attacks, he says it's important to understand the history of conflicts between Palestinians and the Israeli government.
If someone were to come into your home, and were to threaten your family and your children, how would you feel that you would react? Perhaps you would maybe fight back. And that's kind of the situation here in Palestine, as we've been living there for centuries now. My grandfather being kicked out in 1947 from his home, and people being slowly kicked out of their houses by force.
Despite the difference in heritage, both students can agree that this war needs to end.
A lot of it is just like retaliation and to protect themselves and to fight back from the Israeli oppression.
They faced adversity in the past, and they've seen better days. Better days yet to come.
It's stressful. We are literally losing our house right now.
Victoria Mosher and Courtney Johnson say they depend on the auto industry to put food on their table. But with one less source of income and an ongoing strike, they say the light at the end of the tunnel seems far away.
Even the unemployment right now is telling us that we're not getting any money.
We had a son back in July, so we already had a daughter, and it was already hard enough to take care of one kid.
Johnson is a UAW member. He was laid off 3 weeks ago from Avance LLC, a dashboard supplier for General Motors. Mosher says things have gone downhill since then.
Thursday, I ran into a deer, so it just is like, now my car's undrivable, and that was my job. I do DoorDash and Uber.
And there's no signs of the strike slowing down. Today, at least 6,800 auto workers at the Stellantis plant in Sterling Heights walked off the job to picket. Here in Lansing, workers could be seen today on several corners.
It's affected my whole entire plant.
Local 652 member and the chairman of Avante says although he stands with Big Three auto workers, he's sad for his brothers and sisters who are forced to live off unemployment, which is $362 a week.
It's just not us. I mean, that's including Ryder. And right now, until they strike at LGR or wherever their next point of action is going to be.
However, for this couple, they're remaining positive that Big Three execs will speed up the process and give the strikers what they want.
I'll run through our options right now, and we don't have many of them. So we're just going to keep fighting and pushing forward.